What's up there, Travel Chronicles? It's not quite race day yet. It's the day before race day, 2024. Sorry, I got the pickleball guy kind of bouncing around back and forth there. So I'm doing this a day ahead of time for my race prep, just for my benefit, so I'm not talking, make my mouth dry on the way home. It's not a learning or anything. You just talk if I talk for 10 minutes, tomorrow I'm going to be doing a lot of talking because we're going to be trying to commission a piece of equipment. Pretty poor scheduling on my part. I shouldn't have done that, but whatever. It seems like every race day I always end up walking a lot before the race anyway. So I'm probably going to have 7,000-8,000 steps in before I get to the start line, which is fine. I mean, today did a little bit of walking at work. I'm up to 5,600 steps. So by the time I would walk down there as part of my warm up, I would probably be around. I'd be over 8,000 before I hit the starting line. That's all right. That's all right. The key thing. So, a couple of things. How do I feel right now? Honestly, and I said this last year, I said I felt probably as strong as I've ever felt. I feel stronger now. Like, legitimately, I do feel stronger, in better shape. Core, as much? I don't know, because, you listen to people that like work out a lot and stuff. I really don't do core. Like, core gets worked out when you're working other muscle groups. And I'm about 5 workouts into my 1x20 routine. Which is, I'm not going to say like massive gains, but when I get into my training, you'll kind of understand why I feel pretty decent, even without running as many miles as I have. So I feel good with the resistance training that I've added, because I wasn't really, like, I do stuff in the morning, like about 15 minutes worth of light weight work, plus about 15 minutes of stretching and stuff. I've also increased the rolling, because we got a new roller. It's automatic. When I say automatic, it's mechanical. So it's rolling, and then you just put the muscle on and it rolls it out. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. I do that just about every morning. And then I've been doing cold showers religiously in the morning. But I think it's helpful, especially after an activity, to come in for recovery's sake. So right now, I would say I'm in recovery mode. I ran Sunday morning, and I've not put the mileage in because I've been playing pickleball. So when I say I'm probably as strong as I've been, or as most physically fit in the last 3 months, I've talked about it in another video, but I've started doing like some longevity protocols. I've taken certain supplements, trying to increase my cardiovascular activity. I've been doing saunas to get heat proteins, get all the bad stuff out of my system. I saw like an immediate drop off. Like, I was kind of heavy coming out of winter, honestly. So even though I was decent in the summer last year, I'm about 2 pounds lighter than what I was last summer. I'm about 8 pounds lighter than what I was coming out of winter. Rough winter, I guess. A lot of stuff going on, mom, basketball, so not in the best headspace, you might say. But I came out in March, started a new routine, new diet. I won't say diet, it's a lifestyle change. There's a lifestyle change to this longevity model with supplements and different things. And in the vein of supplements, I've also started taking stuff to help my musculature, I guess, or muscle endurance. I've started taking creatine regularly, which has like its own ATP thing. Now, in a distance running event, is that going to help you? Probably not. It's more of like an explosive, ATP pop. And the guy that I've listened to is like, it's like an 8 to 10 second, burst, and then you've got to rest for minutes in order to get it back. So that's what it delivers. Is that going to help me? Probably not, in a distance run, but overall, just helping with workouts and different things, and I think it's beneficial overall. Anyway, so I've been doing that since anyway. I've also been taking beta-alanine, which does help endurance muscle gains. And I can't remember the exact piece that it puts in, to the muscle, helps it store, but I have been doing that. As a matter of fact, I need to take some right now because I just mentioned it. So I will do that. This is the GNC variety, 2 pills, 1,600 milligrams. 4 is a serving, but they advise splitting it up, 2 before, 2 pre-workout, 2 post-workout. So tonight is active recovery pickleball. And when I say I've been, since March, since I started this, I've been the most active I've been. I don't want to say in my life, because when I was a teenager, I run around, we'd play a lot, we'd do a lot of stuff, especially in spring and senior year. Once I got to college, it kind of backed off a little bit. But, at least any point in my life that I've measured, and for sure in the last 26 years, it is the most active I've been. And most of that is playing pickleball plus running. I still have been running. I try to get 2 sessions in a week at least. Sometimes I've been able to get 3, 8 to 12 miles. But this past Sunday, even without the mileage, the total mileage, I'm still on my feet. I'm still, engaging my legs. Like I said, I've increased resistance training. I'm taking supplements now for my body, for muscle growth, for recovery. I ran a 26:01 on the course, so on the normal course, and that overall was the 3rd fastest I've ever run. And it was a morning run, which is going to be different from the race. And there's another twist this year as well. But I ran the 3rd fastest I've ever run. It was a morning run, so I treat those a little bit different coming into them. I was at a progressive level on the Garmin watch, so in the cycle that I'm in, I wasn't just maintaining, I was in actual gain mode, and I ran hard. Now the funny thing is, during that race, heart rate got up to 180 at one point, for an extended period. Whenever I run that race hard, the heart rate just goes up, 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 and then I end in the 180s. I've had some races, within the last 5 years, and over 200 on a heart rate, just because I'm going so hard at the end, and it's usually 90 degrees hot. So I ran this one in the morning. It was probably 15 degrees cooler than what it's going to be on race day. This race is not a race that you run to set a PR. It's a hard course. It's in the evening, and it's at the end of August, or at the end of July. So it's about as hot as it can possibly be right then when you're running this race. It may get a little bit hotter the first couple weeks of August before it starts cooling down a little bit, but end of July, in the evening, sun beating down on you is as hot as it's going to be. And I think it's supposed to be 90. Maybe it'll be raining, which will make it worse, humid, but it's a miserable race. But it's my benchmark race, and I think the last time I kind of reviewed my times, this will be probably the 7th time I've run the Betty Zane race. I finished out of the medals completely last year. I ran, I think, a 26:48, which is almost dead on what I ran the previous year. Even though that previous year, then I turned around 4 days later and ran a 25:40, which was a PR at that time. I've since cut that down to a 25:13, but I haven't. I only want to run 2 races. I run 2 races a year, so there's not a lot of chance for me to really hit a PR. I was hoping they would run that race again. That was the Martins Ferry Winter Classic or Winterfest 5K. They ran it one time. They did not have it last year. So my second best time was a pre-Betty Zane practice run of 25:52, and I cut the time a little bit short, so I ran a 3:06 mileage instead of the 3:08. This one I hit right on. It was a 308, 2601 or 2602, and so I feel pretty good about it, especially given the mileage. I thought it was going to be bad because I haven't run hard, and I haven't run as much as what I've done in the past. But I've played way more pickleball. I'll tell you that. That's what's keeping the activity level up. That plus running plus weightlifting. My activity level, I would say, the Garmin measures your activity, and it was, maybe I'd get to 250, 300, some weeks. And ever since I've started this routine, it's been like 400 plus every time, 500 plus most weeks. I even got to 630, which was like the highest I've been. I backed it down a little bit, and then we were on vacation 2 weeks ago, so I've hit the training kind of hard the last week and a half, which is that good? I don't know. But I call it recovery mode tonight. I'm going to play pickleball until about 9 o'clock, so an hour and a half, 2 hours. It probably won't be 2 full hours of pickleball. It'll be about an hour and a half. And then I'm going to hit a soak with Epsom salt, so a little magnesium, help recovery there. Shake tonight, and then I'm going to try to get as much sleep as I can, because I know that's important on longevity. I know it's important on recovery. I wore calf sleeves today at work. So there's a good possibility I'm going to be standing a good bit tomorrow, but legs don't feel too bad. They felt a little sore after that run, because I did run hard, and I haven't done that, even though I've been lifting the weights, and there's still a little sore today. I did a shakeout run yesterday. It ended up being about 3 miles, because the race director said we're running the course in reverse. Yeah. So that's the shocking new development for the course. Now, I will say this about the course: if you run it backwards, to me it's easier, because the hills they're more gradual, but they're runnable. I always try to run the hills ever since like my second or third year of doing this. Like, hit the hills hard, because that's the only way to really strengthen those muscles. And running muscles are different from walking muscles when you're going uphill, because you're kind of dragging yourself up the hill with your hamstrings if you're walking. But if you're running, you're getting like on top, you're using the thighs, you're pushing off with the calves. It's a different muscle to get up the hill. So to me, it's really important to run the hills if you're going to run them. And like I said, this makes the hills more gradual going up, and real steep declines coming down. And it'll be a little bit different coming into the finish. There's a big hill coming down into the finish now. Well, a decent sized hill coming into the finish, and then you're gonna have to finish going uphill a little bit to the finish line. So it'll make for before you were running the last quarter of a mile basically downhill, which made for an interesting finish. Man, I hope that light's not hitting that crazy. It looks like it is hitting pretty crazy. So, well, I'm gonna finish this because I'm about home. But it'll make for an interesting finish. Except I'm feeling pretty decent. How's the race gonna go? No idea. Like, it's gonna be hotter. I would guess probably high 26s for me, and that's if the muscles are recovered and feeling good. If they're like sore and I can't hit it hard, like I may 20. I should be able to get 30, under 30, unless something really starts hurting. But I'm gonna shoot for goal's always sub 25. So I'm gonna run it pretty hard. That's like an 8:10 pace. 26:01 was like an 8:30 pace, a little over 8:30. So I got to get 20 seconds a minute off in order to get under 25. And it's going to be hotter. But we are going backwards, so that'll be interesting. I've never ran it hard backwards. I did run with Elijah one time backwards, kind of like a training run, and ran 9-minute miles, just going out and running. So potential's there to set a good time, just because the course is going to be different. Same mileage, just different. All right. Well, got today. Like I said, race days tomorrow. I'll try to take it easy with the voice, take it easy with the legs, and keep my fingers crossed. All right, so see you later. Maybe I'll give you a race recap. Be careful. Be COVID free. Later.